Hi friends, we're going to do a series of yoga moves that will help open the front and back of your thighs, your hip flexor, and then we're going to end with a side stretch. These all can be done on the floor. I'm going to start with a blanket to raise up my hips because it'd be too hard on my knees if I tried to put my backside on the floor. So I have this blanket. It wasn't a square and I just folded it into a rectangle, and I'm putting it lengthwise like that. And then I'm taking 2 yoga blocks and I'm putting them the wide way like this, and I'm going to take 2. You could even have 3 if you want, but I've got this blanket, so that kind of counts as a little extra height. Then I'm going to sit. My sits bones go on the block. Then I'm going to hug my ankles in a bit, and I'm going to press my toenails down into the floor a lot. I'm going to try to take my hips back and wide like we do when we're standing, and now I'm still pressing really strongly with my toes. I have muscle energy engaged, and I'm trying to create a little curve in my low back. And I'm feeling a bit of a stretch here, and I feel my knees opening a little bit. Now, if you feel like I'm not really feeling anything, then you can remove a block. And if that's a little too intense, it's just a little intense, but you don't want it to get any more intense, you can help yourself by putting your hands down. Your fingertips can touch to support you, or sometimes I put them on the front of my leg like this. Then I keep my shoulders back too, like we did in the first video. And then I breathe right into all the sticky places. I just send my breath there. This pose is also good for your digestion. Maybe try holding it for 5 breaths and then work your way up to a little longer if you can. But if it's intense and you have any pain, you need to stop or go up a little higher. Next, we're going to do Anjaneyasana. Another nice thing about the blanket is if you have a tender knee, you might like to have a blanket down on your yoga mat to pad your knee. At the gym, we have very padded floors, so that really helps. But if you're at home, you might need something like this. Okay, so I'm gonna step, so you can see I'm gonna step my right foot forward first. So I'm kind of in a square lunge here, but I want to take my knee forward of my ankle, as you can see here. Then I'm going to try to square my hips off so they're facing front. So sometimes I say hug your hips toward one another. It might also help you think about drawing your shins in toward each other so that you're starting down lower and you're getting that inner spiral to take your thighs back. You can take the bottom foot, you can't see mine, but here you go. The foot can be flat like that, and you just press into the toes. That's totally acceptable. If you want to stretch your toes more, you can turn them under. It also helps a little with balance. And then we're just going to keep our hand on the front knee, press that knee away, try to create a curve in your low back. You're going to feel this front of your hip called the hip flexor, psoas. You're going to feel stretch there. Okay. And then we come up straight like so, and we just simply switch sides. So here's what it looks like on the other side. Remember, the knee's going to come forward to the ankle, and this is the only time we really do that. Then we breathe through our nose. And we symbolically send our breath to any spots that we are feeling some intensity. And then come back up. All right, while I have this leg forward, I'm just going to extend it out in front of me. Now here you might want the blocks also. In fact, I suggest having blocks here. You'll have them on either side of you. And then that gives you something to press down. You're going to straighten this leg. And then the back knee's bent just like so. It's also acceptable to put your foot flat like that and press your toes in or turn them under. You know, if you have painful bunions, you might just do this. That's fine. I do like to stretch my toes out. Okay, and then I'm going to suggest that you just, first step is just to straighten this leg. You can take it in closer if that helps, or further away if that helps. You know, find your sweet spot. Another way to make it a little easier and more palatable is to take it out to the side. Like, let's see, if this is 12 o'clock, say it's 11 o'clock or something like that. And then you're going to press into the heel and drag it towards yourself. But isometrically, you won't even really see it move. You're just pressing down and pulling it back. And then if you've mastered that, then you can move your foot over more center and repeat it. Okay, we're just going to do the same thing other side. This is stretching your hamstrings. Also, by changing the angle of that front leg, you're hitting this hamstrings in a little different place. So now we're, say, like at 1 o'clock with our foot. We're pressing down on our blocks with our hands. Press down into the heel of the front foot and drag it towards yourself isometrically. You'll feel the hamstring stretch. Then to get out of it, to keep the muscle energy in your leg, don't go lax and pull it towards yourself before you release it. That way you don't injure your hamstring. All right, now we've done thighs, hip flexor, hamstring. Now we're going to end with child's pose, but we're going to turn it into a side stretch. So with child's pose, there's many variations of it. I'm going to take the blanket away, although you can certainly use it under your knees. It's not a problem. You can keep your legs zipped together like that, or you can take the knees wide and hips back. So either way, there's no, both ways are fine. Let's just say that. And then we're going to stretch our arms out in front of us. Our head may or may not come to the ground. It's acceptable to put a block for your forehead if you'd like to. And then what we would do is walk the hands over to one side. I'll show you again. So my hands are straight in front of me now, right? I'm just going to take my left hand over and then my right hand over. I'm going to feel a stretch right here in my lat. That's something we work a lot in our weightlifting. So you can press your hands down and isometrically drag them towards you or away from you. Both ways you'll feel a little bit of a different stretch. And then we'll do the other side. So this time I'm taking my right hand over and my left hand over to the side of me, to my left side. My torso's still forward. We'll breathe into that sticky spot in our lats. Try to take your seat back, tailbone down. And then inhale and come up to all fours. And just turn and sit. All right. I hope that gives you some stretches that'll be helpful after or even maybe before your workouts. Remember, be gentle with yourself, and I'll see you on the mat. Good night.